Tyler Reeves, the 22-year-old son of Rhode Island's most powerful senator, walked into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom chewing gum. He looked as casual as if he were waiting for his order at a cafe because he was certain his father's influence would save him again. But this time, things were very different. If you're wondering why the senator's son was in court, here's the reason. Tyler sped through a red light, nearly hit a minibus full of children, and threatened the officer who stopped him by saying his father wouldn't like it. The file in front of Judge Caprio was serious enough already. But the senator's spoiled son didn't even realize the trouble he was in. That's probably why he made one of the biggest mistakes of his life. He gave the judge a condescending look and said the words that would seal his fate. "Come on, let's get this over with, Judge. I have to go meet my friends." Tyler had no idea that Judge Caprio had an ace up his sleeve that would change the course of the case forever, and he was just waiting for the right moment to use it. Judge Caprio's response was not going to be a simple penalty. This was going to be one of the most unforgettable lessons on the difference between inherited power and earned respect. If you followed the story this far, don't miss the ending. Because what you're about to witness is the moment political privilege collides with the unshakable wall of justice in Caprio's courtroom. It's Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. in the Providence Municipal Court. The bailiff announces the case. State of Rhode Island versus Tyler James Reeves. Tyler enters as if the courtroom is just another place where his family name solves problems. He walks to the defendant's table with a confident stride, wearing a designer suit and a practiced political smile. His Rolex catches the light, and his Italian leather shoes look untouched by anything but marble floors. And he's chewing gum openly, as if he's at a game instead of facing criminal charges. Judge Caprio watches this with patience, although something in his expression suggests he's already taking mental notes. "Good morning, Mr. Reeves." Tyler responds late, still typing on his phone. He only says, "Morning." No good morning, Your Honor. Not even basic courtesy. The courtroom atmosphere shifts. Spectators exchange glances. Staff pause their work. Judge Caprio closes the folder in front of him with deliberate care. "Mr. Reeves." Just 2 words, but heavy with 40 years of judicial experience. Tyler finally looks up, eyebrows raised like he's been interrupted. Judge Caprio speaks calmly. "You're charged with reckless driving and resisting arrest. These are serious allegations that occurred outside City Hall, where citizens conduct daily business. How do you respond to these charges?" Tyler shifts his gum, blows a tiny bubble, and answers, "Your Honor, this is being made way more complicated than it needs to be. I was running late for a meeting with my father's chief of staff, hit some construction delays, maybe pushed the speed limit a little. It's all been blown out of proportion." Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change. But courtroom regulars recognize the stillness before a storm. "Mr. Reeves, the police report states you were traveling 43 miles per hour through a stop sign in a 25 miles per hour zone. A vehicle with children had to brake suddenly to avoid a collision. Do you recall this? Look, that driver was probably texting. I had clear right-of-way. Sometimes people panic when they see nice cars." A murmur ripples through the gallery. Judge Caprio raises one hand, and silence returns instantly. "Mr. Reeves, when Officer Martinez activated his emergency lights, what did you do?" Tyler rolls his eyes. "I pulled over as soon as I found a safe spot. You can't just slam on brakes downtown. According to the report, you continued driving for 6 blocks while he pursued you with lights and sirens. You stopped in the State House garage. Is that accurate?" "I stopped where it made sense. Didn't want to block traffic." Judge Caprio opens another folder. "Officer Martinez also reports that you made certain statements about contacting supervisors and your father's position. Do you recall those?" Instead of acknowledging anything, Tyler doubles down. I tried to help the officer understand the situation. Sometimes people in public service need context about who they're dealing with before they make decisions that could affect their careers. Silence spreads across the courtroom. Even the court reporter pauses. Mr. Reeves, Judge Caprio asks, "Are you saying you threatened Officer Martinez's career?" "I provided information that might help him make better choices," Tyler replies. Judge Caprio reaches for a remote. Officer Martinez was wearing a body camera. The footage has been submitted. Would you like to review what actually happened? Tyler looks pleased. Absolutely. The video will show exactly what I said, a minor traffic situation that got overblown. The monitors flicker on. Dashboard footage shows Tyler's BMW speeding toward a four-way stop. Rolling through without slowing, forcing a Honda Pilot with visible car seats to brake hard and swerve. Officer Martinez's emergency lights activate immediately. Tyler's BMW continues for 6 blocks before entering the State House garage. Body camera footage shows Officer Martinez approaching the BMW. Tyler is on his phone. The officer taps on the window. Tyler holds up one finger and continues talking. After another tap, Tyler lowers the window only 3 inches. "Sir, step out and provide your license and registration." "Hold on, officer. I'm finishing something important." "Sir, end the call and step out now." Then Tyler says the words that will haunt him. "Listen, you seem like a decent guy, so let me help you out. Call your supervisor before this goes further. Tell him you've got Tyler Reeves, Senator Reeves' son. My father isn't going to like hearing I was harassed over a minor traffic issue." Officer Martinez stays professional. "Sir, step out of the vehicle. Your father's position doesn't change traffic laws." Tyler's laugh is clearly audible. Tyler's laugh is clearly audible on the recording. "Everything changes. Traffic laws, officer. Everything. You've got a choice here. You can write up some paperwork that's going to disappear anyway. Or you can use good judgment and let me get back to actually important business. Step out of the vehicle, sir. Are you serious right now? Do you understand what you're doing to your career?" The video ends there, but the silence in Judge Caprio's courtroom is deafening. Tyler sits at the defendant's table, still chewing gum, but his confident smile has faded slightly. Judge Caprio addresses him with surgical precision. "Mr. Reeves, you've just watched yourself threaten a police officer's livelihood for enforcing traffic safety laws. You endangered other drivers, ignored lawful commands, and attempted to corrupt a public servant using your father's position. How do you explain this behavior?" Tyler straightens his tie, apparently still believing he can charm his way through. "Your Honor, I think the video shows exactly what I've been saying. I was trying to help Officer Martinez understand the bigger picture before he made a mistake that could hurt his career. Sometimes public servants need guidance about when to apply rules flexibly." "Guidance? You threatened him?" "I offered information that might help him make a smarter decision." Judge Caprio sets down his reading glasses. When he speaks, his voice carries the authority of someone who has spent 4 decades separating truth from manipulation. "Mr. Reeves, your father writes laws designed to keep our streets safe. You broke those laws with casual arrogance. When held accountable, you tried to buy immunity with your family name that represents everything wrong with how some people view public service." Tyler checks his watch. He actually checks it while Judge Caprio is speaking. Then he makes the mistake that seals his fate forever. "Your Honor, I appreciate the lecture, but can we move this along? I have a meeting with some important people in 20 minutes, and they're not going to want to wait." The words linger in the air. Judge Caprio doesn't respond right away. He just looks at Tyler, and in that silence, the mood in the courtroom changes. When Judge Caprio finally speaks, his voice is quiet but carries absolute authority. "A meeting with whom, Mr. Reeves?" "Your conscience." Tyler opens his mouth to respond, but no words come out. Judge Caprio continues, "You've just demonstrated that you learned nothing from endangering other people's children. You've shown contempt for Officer Martinez's service, disrespect for this court's proceedings, and complete indifference to the concept of accountability. Your meeting can wait. Justice cannot." Tyler realizes he's lost control of the situation, but it's too late to recover. "Your Honor, I didn't mean any disrespect. I'm just trying to manage my schedule efficiently, Mr. Reeves." Efficient schedule management doesn't include threatening police officers or treating courtrooms like inconveniences. Judge Caprio begins delivering sentences with the methodical precision of someone who has thought carefully about appropriate consequences for reckless driving that endangered other motorists, including children. "I'm imposing a $3,000 fine." Tyler barely reacts. $3,000 is dinner money for his family. For resisting arrest and attempting to flee from a lawful traffic stop, an additional $2,000 fine. Still no concern. Money solves most problems in Tyler's world. "I'm also suspending your driving privileges for 6 months, effective immediately." Now Tyler shows alarm. 6 months. "Your Honor, I need my car for work, for school, for everything." That's completely unreasonable. You should have considered your transportation needs before using your vehicle to endanger others. But Judge Caprio delivers his most devastating punishment yet. "Since you believe your father's position in public service exempts you from responsibility, you're going to learn what public service actually means." Tyler's confident facade finally cracks completely. "What do you mean?" 100 hours of community service with the city's youth traffic safety program. You'll visit schools throughout the district, teaching children about traffic safety and the importance of following rules. Teaching kids, "Your Honor, I'm not qualified to teach anyone anything." Judge Caprio's response cuts deep. "You're absolutely right, Mr. Reeves. Which is why you'll also complete a mandatory course in ethics and public service before beginning your community service." Everyone in the courtroom notices the irony. Ethics in public service is, after all, his father's specialty. Additionally, you'll write a formal letter of apology to Officer Martinez and the families whose safety you endangered. This letter will be published in the Providence Journal so the community can see that accountability applies to everyone. Tyler stares in horror. Published in the newspaper. Everyone will see it. Everyone should see it, Mr. Reeves. Public accountability for public endangerment. Judge Caprio delivers his final words with devastating calm. "You won't spend a night in jail because this court isn't here to destroy you. But starting today, you'll discover what it means to earn respect without a title in front of your name." As the bailiffs approach to collect Tyler's driver's license, Judge Caprio adds his closing thought. "Your father writes laws that protect our community. You broke them with arrogance. Today, you learn that the law doesn't care about last names. It cares about actions and consequences." Tyler Reeves, who entered believing political connections made him untouchable, leaves the courtroom facing 6 months without driving privileges and 100 hours, explaining to school children why traffic laws matter. 1 week later, the Providence Journal's front page features a photo that becomes locally famous. Tyler Reeves, wearing jeans and a simple polo shirt instead of his designer suits, handing out traffic safety coloring books to 3rd graders at Hope Elementary School. The accompanying article includes his published apology letter, which reads in part, "I endangered other families because I believed my last name made traffic laws optional. I was wrong, and I'm sorry." In the back of the classroom, a teacher's aide takes a photo that captures something remarkable. Tyler is actually smiling. It's not his usual political smile, but something real. For maybe the first time, he's earning respect instead of expecting it. Sometimes the most valuable lessons come as consequences. And the most important meetings are with our better selves. If you enjoyed this story, you can support me by liking it and, if you haven't already, subscribing to my channel, my loyal viewers. If you enjoy stories like this, you can check out the other videos on my channel. See you in the next video. Stay healthy.